Yes, in the previous lecture, we have discussed how conditional statement will get expanded when macro expansion will occur. And this is the part of a conditional macro expansion. But here we will discuss how looping statement will get expanded. Okay, so to define the loop in macro definition, these two keywords will be used. While loop define the starting of the loop, and NW will define the end of. And we generally use this while loop in our C++ languages also. There we put one condition with while loop, until that condition is true we keep on executing the code inside the while loop, and when that condition become false we will come out of loop. So same thing is there. In the while loop will have a condition, and that condition keep on checked, like whether it is true or false. So when the condition is true, the macro processor continue to process the lines from definition table. Definition table of macro. Okay, that table will have the definition of macro until our loop is true, loop condition is true. The lines keep on getting from definition table till the end W statement, the end of loop will not encounter. Okay, when end W will encounter, the macro processor returns to the preceding while, reevaluating the boolean expression and take action based on the new value. Means once one while loop get closed, then the next while loop, if any next while loop is there, that loop will condition will get evaluated. If that condition becomes true, again processing will start. If that condition will become false, then the next statement after the second while loop get processed. Okay, but if the while condition become false, what will be happen? The macro processor skip ahead in def table until it find the next and the value. Means the processor stop getting the values from def table till this while loop will not end, and then after the while loop and it will start executing the normal statements. So in this way the while loop will work. Okay, and the macro processor function in like we will use the percentage and items, a number of members in the argument list. We can use this term to define the number of members in the argument list. Okay, so this is the conditional macro expansion. Okay, so next, the last feature of the macro independent, machine independent, the macro processor is the keyword macro parameter. This thing we have already discussed in the previous lectures, that we can define the parameters, or parameter gets substituted in two ways. One based on their position or based on some keywords. Okay, like if we are passing a1, a1 will be given to first parameter, a2 will be given to second parameter, a3 will be given to third parameter in macro definition. That means the first parameter in macro call will be given to the first parameter in macro definition. The second parameter from the macro call will be given to second parameter in macro definition. So parameters and arguments were associated with each other according to their positions in macro prototype and macro invocation statement. Okay, or sometime like we have discussed in previous some example also, where we are recalling the macro. In that, if the parameters are not there, means from the macro call some parameters are not passed, then we will put comma and we will left blank for that parameter in macro definition. So Comma is necessary for null argument. If argument is being not passed, we will put comma. Okay, that we will see in the previous. See here, when we are calling, we are putting the blank space with the comma for the empty argument. Okay, see here. Okay, so this is the positional parameter. Second way is keyword parameter. Okay, in keyword parameters, say I will write like, if in the argument, in macro call, I have written A1, A2, A3, and in definition B1, B2, B3. But I can write like this: B1 will be equal to A3, B2 will be equal to A1. Okay, I can change the position. If I'm using the keyword parameters, I can change the position. Okay, so using keyword parameter, it is not required. Okay, position should match. The position of argument should match with the position of parameter in macro definition. It is not required in keyword parameter. We can assign our second argument in macro call to the first parameter in macro definition. We can change, but how we can do, when we are writing the macro definition, we have to define the B1 is equal to A3, B2 is equal to A1. We have to mention, because macro call will pass A1, A2, A3, but macro definition will receive accordingly. Like B1 equal to A1, if I will write, then A1 will go to B1. Okay, in that way we can define the keyword parameter. Written here, each argument value is written with the keyword that names the corresponding parameter. Okay, a macro may have large number of parameters, and only a few of these are given value in typical invocation. Okay, so till this we have discussed the third topic from the macro processor, that is the features of machine independent macro processor. So this is the last topic, that is macro processor design option. In this we will discuss the three type of design option, that will be the recursive macro expansion, general purpose macro processors, macro processor with language translation.